Good morning, Jonestown.
Good Morning Jonestown is brought to you by the following sponsors.
All right, we're back again, and this week we're going to be sponsored by Jonestown Life again.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, the Sequoia has sold out. Those nutraceuticals are doing really well.
They're
man.
doing really well. We're already rolling out something else this week for you guys. We've got Jonestown Life coffee.
Fuck yeah. I mean, we're really excited about this. This is one thing we both come together on. We're both huge coffee heads,
We're
man.
both coffee heads.
Huge coffee heads.
Love it.
Love it.
Love it. Now I want to tell you guys about civet coffee. Civet coffee comes from Indonesia. There's a little cat called the civet cat, and it basically eats coffee beans, poops them out. They pick the beans out, and they sell them. It's the most expensive coffee in the world, but it's also really great coffee.
Oh, it's delicious.
It's delicious. It's got an amazing jolt to it, and it's very smooth. It's the most expensive coffee in the world, and they say you just can't compete with it, but I'm here to tell you that's exactly what we're doing this week. Russell, tell them about what we got.
Now, we found something amazing that we couldn't believe isn't just the biggest thing since what? Since iPhones? I mean, this is huge. This shit. Apparently, in the Terraza region of Colombia, there is a raccoon-like animal called the coati. You know, ringtail, tree climber, kind of.
All that.
And but it eats coffee beans, but it also eats coca leaves. Right? Pretty much exclusively coca leaves and coffee beans. So we actually get the beans from their poop.
Now, we will say this. Technically, this coffee does not have cocaine in it. I
No.
have to say that.
It does not.
But I also want to say this. It doesn't have cocaine in it, but in Colombia, this coffee is used to get people off of cocaine.
Yeah, very successfully.
Very successfully.
Now we do have to warn you that if you drink this coffee regularly, you will probably test positive for cocaine on a urine analysis.
Now, a lot of people say that we can't compete with the civet coffee because it's just unbeatable, but I'm here to say that that is not true. As far as price goes, we've got them beat.
Yeah, I mean this coffee we do sell by the gram because it's so potent, but
But when you do the math,
yeah,
it
pound
is-
for pound,
it is cheaper.
It's a better value
than
than
theirs.
civet.
And ours, you can cut it with regular coffee.
Yeah,
You
it's
can-
actually better
It's
if you
better.
cut it with a little regular coffee.
So just put a little bit in your regular coffee, and it'll have you going all day long.
All day long.
Now, a lot of people say that the civet coffee has the best jolt.
Definitely not.
We got them beat.
Yeah,
Big
the,
time.
the Kawadi coffee is the best jolt you'll ever have.
Now, the civet coffee, I will say, as far as the taste goes, they may have us beat. Ours isn't bad. After you have that first sip, your mouth will start to go numb.
Oh, and then it's the best coffee you ever drank. I mean, you almost can't stop. You have to kind of make yourself a limited amount, and then just no more coffee for the day.
But
'Cause
you
you'll
won't-
drink it all day.
You won't want to start off another day without Jonestown Life coffee. So go to jonestownlife.com and order a bag of our Coati coffee today. Use promo code RussellandTonyPod, and we'll send you a bottle of our new Jonestown Nutraceuticals Nighttime Sleep Aid Ambiance. Have you had a chance to try the Ambiance yet?
I did. I tried it last night, actually, because you gave it to me yesterday, and
How many did you take?
I took one. You know, I like to ease in
Yeah.
to things.
That's all you need, really.
And but I'm not much of a drinker. I just kind of the way things worked out. I had a glass of wine as well.
Oh, yeah? Uh-oh.
I slept best I've ever slept in my
Oh,
life.
good.
And the weirdest thing, I woke up and I was like 2-3 weeks behind with filing stuff for my job. I don't want to get into boring details, but needless to say, it's about 7 hours on the computer of just entering data, right?
Yeah.
Woke up this morning, it was all done.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it was all done. Breakfast was made. Like, it was like the oven was on warm.
And your wife's out of town right now.
Yeah, I'm home alone. I made it, apparently.
So see there, get the best night of sleep, and you get some work done.
Yeah.
No negative side
Make
effects.
yourself well.
And there's no negative side effects.
Well, I wouldn't say none. It could have been the wine, but I did kind of deny the Holocaust in my Instagram story.
All right, so that's Ambiance, available at jonestownlife.com today.
Try it out.
I know you don't believe in ghosts. Because I've heard you say it. That's the first thing I ask someone when I meet them. No, but I know you don't believe in ghosts. But I think, like, maybe that they are real. You know, you just, like, never had an experience because, like, you're cool. You know what I mean? I think people who have, like, believe that they have ghosts in their house are just, like, boring people. You know what I mean? Because if you have, like, an entity that's in your home, it's only gonna, like, bother you if it wants you to leave. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, if I'm trapped in this room forever and you, like, interesting,
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave you alone because I have to be in this fucking apartment from now until the end of time.
Yeah.
Like,
Maybe they just like watching you jerk off.
maybe. I'm doing something right.
Like watching you and your wife have sex.
Yeah, they like our moves. But I know, hey, I know you're 1,000 years old, but let me teach you something. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I like to think that that there is potentially a spirit in my house, but that my wife and I are interesting enough that it's cool with us being there.
Yeah.
So if you tell me that your house has a ghost in it, it's never been someone I was like, oh, you seem so cool. Like, you're really cool. I wonder why it's bothering you.
Yeah.
You know? And why is it just houses? Like, you never hear about, like, haunted cars. I mean, I guess Christine, but that's not... I'm talking about real haunted vehicles.
Yeah. Well, I guess, like... Yeah, I guess buildings.
Yeah.
Based, because I was going to say there's, like, hotels that they claim are haunted, and...
I never like an airplane. You know what I mean? Like, welcome to Delta Flight. I'm your captain
Well,
speaking.
I guess that's because when a bunch of people die on an airplane, they don't fly the airplane anymore because it's broken.
I just, I can't confirm that, so I don't know. The old haunted plane. I always often thought about, like, capitalizing on people being morons. And, like, if you're going to have a yard sale, just sell everything as haunted. Like, here's a haunted mirror for $5. Please get it out of here.
I feel like my problem with that kind of shit is I've never seen a credible, intelligent human being try to legitimize it in any way.
Right.
Like, anytime some person is, like, pretending to use, you know, scientific instruments to measure shit it's all bullshit.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, I don't know.
And
I mean,
it never has, like, a reasonable name. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's never like, this is a Sony RK67. This was from the recorder from the 1960s that for some reason we notice picks up a different frequency. It's never something legitimate. It's always like, this is my Ghostometer 400. It's something dorky. This is my electronic voice phenomenon. Like, it's a special dipshit thing that they wrote Ghost on and sell it to you for like, this is a fucking guitar tuner.
Yeah. This is my paranormal meter.
Yeah, paranormeter. You know, it's never like it's like you gotta be more creative. You have to come up with some kind of, like, bullshit loophole in something in reality.
Yeah.
You know? Like, that just happens. It's a side effect that it records ghosts. And this is actually for this, but we've noticed as a side effect, you can hear fucking demon voices on it.
Yeah.
You know, we've developed this. It's like, why doesn't the government have this? Like, why you're selling this? Like, should be, like, top secret type shit.
It's because it's bullshit.
Right. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I've seen some things.
Yeah?
No.
Have you seen ghosts?
No.
No.
I have not. Have you?
No, of course not. I've been creeped out, you know?
It's fun to get scared.
Yeah, it's fun, but, like, it's always the sort of thing where even, like, in the moment, whatever you might be believing in retrospect, when you, like, examine it, you can kind of find things like, oh, right, that was so what.
There's a new series on Netflix. It's like a documentary series, and It's called like Haunted Traveler or something like this. It's this dude. He's basically like a Louis Theroux type guy.
Yeah.
And he, something Ferrier, David Ferrier. I think he's
Okay.
been on podcasts before or something. And he goes around and like visits different countries, and it's like creepy stuff
Yeah.
there. And there's some like haunted place in America. It's like a haunted house in the sense of like you pay to go to the haunted house and they scare you.
Right. Yeah.
And it's this dude out in the woods, dude, and he's like torturing you. They like blindfold you and like
Yeah.
dunk you in ice cold water and like dude, like it's like this dude like wants to serial kill someone, but he's turned it into a business instead.
Yeah.
And they have like a safe word, and there's like people paying to do that. I'm like, nah, that shit is
Dude.
stupid. It's like the movie Hostel theme park or
Yeah.
something. You ever see a celebrity and you could just tell by looking at them that they have the same size penis that you do?
Yeah. Doesn't everyone?
Think so. Who do you think
Who do I think? What?
has
That
the
I
same
have?
size penis as you?
Henry Rollins.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know why. It just
Know-it-all dick.
Angry,
Yeah.
creative,
Yeah.
world traveler.
Yeah. That's kind of the same thing I had. I see you as like, you'd probably be the same as like Kenny Rogers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like you know when to hold it and you know when to fold it.
Ah, okay.
You know?
I see. What about you? Who do you think?
Oh no, I'll tell you this. I was really upset when Gene Wilder died. You know, was always to me one of those dudes that I could just tell me and him are the same. You know?
Like Willy Wonka, Gene Wilder?
Yeah. Exactly. And Scared Straight, I believe, also. He just, never got the work he deserved.
Yeah. I don't know. I always pictured you as like a Terrence Winter, Hustle and Flow.
DJ Qualls.
Who's that?
Oh no. DJ Qualls is that sickly actor. He's like sickly.
He's like sickly.
He's from the movie Hustle and Flow.
Oh, I've never seen it.
He was in shit. What was he in? The New Guy or some shit.
Oh,
He looks
yeah.
like a turtle that lost its shell.
He was in that Road Trip.
Road Trip.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
looked like a turtle without the shell. That's
Yeah.
what my dick
Your dick looks like his, or it looks like him?
looks like him. Like, exact proportions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe like.
Actually, dude, that dude's probably packing heat, dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You'd hope the universe was fair like that.
Right. That's what I've always said about Alex Jones. Shout out to Alex. What's up, Alex? Like, I've always gotten the feeling, and I'm not kicking a man while he's down. I happen to like Alex Jones. It's nice to go like Al in the back.
As a comedian.
But I've always said, like, I feel like it's definitely one or the other. Alex Jones either has a giant penis that will not work.
Just doesn't get hard.
No, or a micro penis that gets harder than a diamond. Yeah. It's definitely one or the other, dude.
Yeah, I think it is. God, that's funny,
Thank
dude.
you.
Do you know he like?
Lost everything, dude.
Do you know he's into synthesizers?
Alex Jones is?
Yeah, he has like a fucking. There's been like videos he's posted where he's like in his studio and like you can spot, if you're a nerd like me, you spot shit in the background like, oh shit, he's got a fucking 808. He's got a
Korg. Isn't that a thing?
Yeah, that's a brand.
I don't know shit about shit. I've just seen Korg on things before.
Yeah, I don't. I don't have any Korg stuff. But
Oh, shit.
But
You
Sean,
got beef with Korg?
Sean does. I had some Korg shit when I started out.
Ooh, shots fired. Oh.
This episode of Good Morning Jonestown is brought to you by ZipRecruiter.com. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire for any size company in every industry.
And it is every industry, lately due to government crackdowns and regulations, it's sometimes hard to hire the perfect person for you. But you can do it now with ZipRecruiter. Whether you need to hire someone for the newest project or the oldest profession, ZipRecruiter has you covered. You could almost say they've turned back the pages to a easier time when hiring someone was easier. Whether you need a door painted or a knob polished, or even need somebody to come over and snake the old drain. With ZipRecruiter, it's never been simpler. Well, not in the past few months. ZipRecruiter.com strives to pair each client with the perfectly matched professional men and professional women. So turn back the pages of time today with ZipRecruiter and use promo code RussellandTonyPod and get $20 off your first experience. ZipRecruiter. It's simple, sexy, confidential. Dude, I was talking with friends about just movies that don't stand up socially. Do you remember the one where the dude turns black to get a scholarship to go to college?
Yeah, I forgot what it's called.
Big Man on No. I don't know. It's something like that.
I feel like we were talking about it one night at comedy because I feel like that's when you brought up that Tiptoes, yeah.
Yeah.
Which I had never fucking even knew existed.
Yeah, and Matthew McConaughey does not want you to know that movie exists. This is a movie called Tiptoes where Matthew McConaughey, he's dating that one woman that's very good looking, Kate something. Anyways, it comes time that they get serious and he has to introduce her to his family, and they're all midgets.
Little people.
No. Midgets.
In the movie,
they say midget because this was 1990.
No.
Who gives a fuck?
Remember, we looked it up. It was 2003.
Oh, well, it was the year 2000. Who gives a fuck about the word midget? She goes, you didn't tell me your entire family was midgets right in the preview of the movie, and you watch the preview and you're like, ah! Here's the thing, dude. His brother is played by Gary Oldman.
Yeah.
It's a midget body with Gary Oldman's head on it, and it's in the performance of his career.
Is it CGI?
And Peter Dinklage is in it too. And he's a great actor. They could have just used him as his brother, but instead they're we're going to put Gary Coleman's. I feel like the Wayans brothers
Gary
made a
Coleman?
movie.
You mean Gary Oldman? Gary Coleman would have been great.
Yeah. What you talking about, Matthew McConaughey?
Oh, man.
No, dude. Whoever made that movie, they want you to forget that exists, man. That's one of those things where you tell someone about it, and it's like the Berenstein Bears thing. You're like, there's no way that seems like a parallel universe movie. Where you're like, you ever see that movie where... Tiptoes, and then you literally look it up and it's not a thing on the internet. It doesn't exist. You're like, I swear to God, there's a movie where Gary Oldman plays a midget.
Yep.
There's a blowjob scene in Fievel Goes West. Do you remember that?
Oh, dude, that's... Do you remember that?
Do you remember that?
Yeah, dude. I think that was in the... Is this the movie?
No, just ridiculous, adding ridiculous stuff to movies,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's this lady at Publix, the one in East Hill, you know? She's this older lady,
Blonde.
maybe in her 60s. I guess maybe whatever color she's trying to cover the gray up with.
Yeah.
This lady's old. She's in her 60s, maybe.
Yellow hair.
Maybe even older. And she, like, she finds me very attractive, and she's uncomfortably vocal about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, at first it was like, oh, thank you very much, you know. But, like, I'll come in, you know, and she'll just be like, oh, there he is. Oh, you just make my day. And I'm like, okay, all right. That's cool. You know, you're like my grandma's age,
Yeah.
right? And so I was telling, I can't remember which buddy of mine I was telling about it. And he was trying to, like, equate that to, you know, how women feel in a lot of situations.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, dude, it's not the same. There's no, like, point where I couldn't just beat the shit out of that old lady if she tried to, like, take advantage, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, unless she was, like, really just
Wet.
sinister. Maybe she's hiding a really fit body under all that wrinkled stuff.
I couldn't get a hold to her. She's so wet, I just couldn't even grab a hold to her.
But, you know, it was just like, and he was like, what if she had a gun on you?
Well, then it's, I want to do it.
Well, it's kind of hot.
Yeah. You really want this, don't you?
You know, I was like...
And by the way, could you get a boner
No.
at gunpoint?
Well, that's the
Do
thing.
you know how long it took me to be able to do that?
I think... It took a lot of practice.
Weeks. Every day.
Yeah, I mean,
10,000 hours.
I met these dudes in Denver. I was, like, eating breakfast at this place. And, you know, we just started talking. And they were nice guys. They had mentioned, you know, they were there from Los Angeles. And, you know, we were talking about this and that. And we were talking about comedy. And, like, one of them had been to the Comedy Store. And so I was like, you know, what do you guys do? And they were, like, kind of like,
I'm Tom Hanks.
No, they were like, we work for the NFL. And I was like, oh, cool. And, like, you know, just kind of went back to eating my breakfast.
Yeah.
And they both just they started laughing. And they were like, so you're not a football fan? And I was like, how could you tell? They were like, because when we meet guys, you know, and we say we work for the NFL, like, football guys freak out. And I'm like, yeah, if you said you worked for, like, Make Noise Music.
Korg.
Nah, not Korg. I'd still get more excited than NFL. But it was just funny because they thought it was so funny. Like, they almost, like, appreciated it.
I bet.
Like, they were like, yeah, usually guys just ask us so many questions, you know. And I was like, yeah. I was like, no, I mean... I was like, it sounds like a cool job. I'm sure it's a great company to work for.
Yeah.
It's way better than the company I work for.
Other than the whole having to stand for the national anthem bullshit. Yeah, dude, it's freeing not giving a fuck about sports.
I know, man. I know. I've never... Part of my, like, disdain for football, aside from playing it when I was a kid, is, like, football was, like, my early teenage attempt at, like, bonding with my father.
Yeah.
You know? Mm-hmm. Like, not just playing it, but, like, watching it, learning the rules and all that shit, you know? Not just football, basketball, too. My dad was really into basketball. And...
anything where a white guy owns a bunch of black kids and makes them duke it out, he loves it. Baseball, not so much.
Not as much.
Golf, nah.
Soccer, nah.
Basketball and football.
Yeah. And so, you know, it's one of those things, like, I played both sports, and, like, he was my coach in Little League for both sports.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's one of those things where, because your dad is the coach, I was one of the better kids on the team because I just busted my ass, like, all the time. And, like, you know, he, like, doing drills at fucking night and shit in the driveway. And,
love you, Dad! The whole time. 1, I love my dad. 2, I love my dad. 3, I love my dad. 4, I love my dad.
And then and in high school, it kind of started to dawn on me, like, it doesn't matter how good I am at high school.
Mm-hmm.
With my frame, I will never.
I'm only gonna do 2 years tops in the NFL.
No.
Make it 2 seasons.
I'll never even do college sports. Like, I knew that. I was like, I'm not big enough to even play college sports. And I don't really like playing them.
Yeah.
Like, I kind of hate practice, and I even don't really like games that much. You know, and I got a fucking driver's license and a car and a girlfriend that let me have sex with her at 16, and I was like, fuck football.
Yeah.
Nope. And it was a great feeling, man.
You're like, Dad, why are you into this shit? You need to go home and fuck Mom.
But yeah, man, I also had a cousin. I have a cousin, but he was like a fucking world-class athlete.
Is he the one who came out gay?
No.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
No, that would be
That'd
fucking
awesome.
the best. I wish. No, he was fucking like an all-state wide receiver, tied with some other guy for like passing yards and touchdowns.
Tied with another guy for my dad's favorite son.
Yeah. Pretty much. And
your dad's favorite son. It's a tie between your cousin and some other guy.
Some other guy who's not even related to us. He was state champion pole vaulter. I
thought you said he wasn't gay. It's the gayest shit I've ever heard. My cousin's a pole vaulter. Oh man, does he have AIDS?
Dude, he broke the state record in 10th grade and then broke his own record like 3 more times. And I think he still had the record till like, he graduated in 97. I think he had the record until like 2015 or something.
Mm-hmm.
He got a full scholarship
to a women's college. Die or wake up.
Die
so we can have sex.
Remember me. My mom remember me.